Aisha clutched the worn travel brochure, the picture of a futuristic building gleaming under a neon sky. "Learn English while you sleep," the headline screamed. It sounded too good to be true, a dream, pun intended, for Aisha, who desperately needed to improve her English for her university application abroad. With a mix of excitement and skepticism, she booked a flight to the mysterious institute. Learn English while sleeping. Chapter 1. The Dream Machine. Aisha clutched the worn travel brochure, the picture of a futuristic building gleaming under a neon sky. "Learn English while you sleep," the headline screamed. It sounded too good to be true, a dream, pun intended, for Aisha, who desperately needed to improve her English for her university application abroad. With a mix of excitement and skepticism, she booked a flight to the mysterious institute. The building, nestled amidst towering redwoods, looked exactly like the picture. Inside, Dr. Evans, a man with twinkling eyes and a lab coat that seemed perpetually rumpled, explained the technology. It was a sleep-learning machine, he said, that would gently input English vocabulary and grammar structures into her subconscious mind while she slept. Chapter 2. A Night of Strange Dreams. That night, Aisha strapped on the sleek headset. As she drifted off, a parade of bizarre images filled her dreams. She found herself navigating a jungle filled with talking apples shouting, "The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog." She tangoed with a flamboyant teapot who kept insisting on the difference between A and N. Aisha woke up the next morning feeling groggy and strangely exhilarated. The first thing she noticed was a persistent voice in her head that kept repeating, "Good morning. How are you?" It took her a moment to realize it was her own voice, and she said it perfectly, with an accent that sounded disturbingly British. Chapter 3. Unexpected Fluency. Throughout the day, Aisha found herself surprisingly comfortable using English. At the market, she negotiated the price of vegetables with the vendor, seamlessly switching between singular and plural forms. When a tourist asked for directions, Aisha found herself giving a detailed explanation with perfect grammar and a newfound confidence. Back at her room, she picked up an English novel for the first time, not with dread, but with a spark of curiosity. The words flowed effortlessly, the grammar structures clicking into place like familiar puzzle pieces. The dream machine, it seemed, was working. Chapter 4. The Downside of Subconscious Learning. However, the honeymoon phase didn't last long. Soon, Aisha's dreams became a chaotic jumble of English phrases. Her internal monologue became a constant barrage of verb conjugations and sentence structures. She found herself blurting out random English words during conversations in her native language, much to the amusement and sometimes confusion of her friends. One day, while presenting a project in her Arabic literature class, Aisha accidentally launched into a detailed explanation of Shakespearean sonnets. The professor stared at her, speechless, as the rest of the class erupted in laughter. Aisha realized the sleep machine was turning her into a walking English dictionary, not a well-rounded communicator. Chapter 5. Finding the Balance. Discouraged, Aisha stormed back to Dr. Evans' institute. He listened patiently, then explained that sleep learning was just one piece of the puzzle. He adjusted the machine's settings, focusing on real-life conversations and cultural context. Aisha began to attend conversation cafes and watch English-language movies. Slowly, the dream phrases began to make sense, forming a foundation for her real-world communication skills. She learned to appreciate the nuances of language, the humor, and the cultural references that went beyond mere vocabulary. The day Aisha received her university acceptance letter, she celebrated with a slice of apple pie, a nod to her talking fruit dream, and a heartfelt conversation with Dr. Evans, thanking him for helping her learn English, not just in her sleep, but while truly awake. Chapter 6. The Cultural Conundrum. Aisha's first semester abroad was a whirlwind. Armed with her newfound language skills, she navigated bustling campuses and vibrant cityscapes. However, the cultural lessons the sleep machine hadn't provided started to surface. One afternoon, while attempting to befriend a group of classmates with a joke from one of her dreams, she received only blank stares. Later, a professor gently explained the joke was a niche internet meme, not something used in everyday conversation. Aisha realized there was a difference between understanding the language and understanding the culture. She started watching local news, immersing herself in slang terms and pop culture references. One day, she even dreamt of a group of students debating the merits of pineapple on pizza, a surprisingly accurate representation of a recent campus debate. Chapter 7. The Power of Storytelling. Desperate to improve her cultural fluency, Aisha stumbled upon a storytelling club. The warm glow of the room and the passionate voices sharing their stories filled her with a sense of belonging. She decided to share her own story about the dream machine and her journey with English. As she spoke, the room fell silent, captivated. Afterwards, students from all over the world approached her, sharing their own experiences of learning English and navigating new cultures. Aisha realized storytelling was a powerful tool, bridging cultural gaps and fostering understanding. Chapter 8. The Sleep Machine Upgrades. Returning home for the holidays, Aisha visited Dr. Evans. He seemed thrilled with her progress and shared an exciting development, a new feature for the sleep machine. Now, it could integrate cultural information and real-world contexts into her dreams. The next night, Aisha strapped on the headset with a renewed sense of anticipation. Her dreams were no longer chaotic jumbles, but immersive experiences. She found herself wandering through a bustling marketplace in London, bargaining with a shopkeeper using slang she'd never encountered before, but somehow understood. Chapter 9. Becoming a Bridge Builder. Back at university, Aisha's newfound cultural fluency blossomed. She became a bridge between international students, organizing events and workshops that celebrated diversity. One day, she received an email from Dr. Evans. He was establishing a global network of language learning institutes using the sleep machine technology, incorporating cultural immersion programs based on Aisha's experiences. Aisha realized her journey with the sleep machine had not just helped her learn English, but also empowered her to become a bridge between cultures, proving that communication went beyond vocabulary and grammar, but into the heart of shared experiences and understanding. Chapter 10. Dreams of a Global Future. Years later, Aisha sat in her own office at the Institute, a bustling hub of diverse students and languages. As she reviewed applications, a dream flickered at the edge of her consciousness, a vibrant tapestry woven from different cultures, a world where communication flowed effortlessly and everyone had the potential to understand each other's stories. Aisha smiled, knowing this dream was well on its way to becoming reality. Chapter 11. The Unexpected Student. Aisha settled into her usual routine at the Institute, greeting a new wave of students eager to conquer the English language. Among them was a quiet young man named Hiro, his eyes filled with a nervous intensity. Unlike others, his dream wasn't of university applications or bustling careers. He wanted to speak English to connect with his grandmother, who lived alone in a remote Japanese village. Aisha adjusted the sleep machine program, focusing on everyday conversations and familial terms of endearment. Hiro's progress was slow but steady. His dreams transformed from bustling classrooms to serene countryside scenes, filled with heartfelt conversations about rice harvests and blooming cherry blossoms. Chapter 12. The Power of Connection. One morning, Hiro arrived at the Institute with a shy smile. He spoke hesitantly, but with a newfound fluency, about a video call he had with his grandmother. Their conversation flowed effortlessly. Hiro recounted the vibrant city life. His grandmother described the tranquil beauty of the village. Aisha witnessed the transformative power of language, not just for career advancement, but for forging the most intimate of connections. Chapter 13. Beyond English. A growing sense of responsibility settled on Aisha's shoulders. While English was a dominant force, it wasn't the only language people yearned to learn. Inspired by Hiro, she started researching the possibility of expanding the sleep machine's capabilities. With Dr. Evans' enthusiastic support, they embarked on a challenging project, adapting the technology to accommodate multiple languages and cultural contexts. Chapter 14. A Symphony of Languages. The journey involved navigating complex linguistic structures and cultural nuances. Sleep specialists collaborated with language experts, meticulously crafting programs for various languages. The once sterile lab transformed into a vibrant hub, buzzing with the sounds of Spanish conjugation drills and Mandarin greetings. Finally, the day arrived, the first multilingual trial. Students from different countries strapped on the headsets, a nervous anticipation filling the room. Aisha held her breath as they drifted off to sleep. The next morning, the students emerged, their experiences vastly different yet equally transformative. A young French student spoke of navigating the bustling streets of Tokyo. Another dreamt of arguing complex legal cases in Spanish. Chapter 15. Dreams Without Borders. News of the Institute's breakthrough spread rapidly. Students from all corners of the globe flocked to learn a new language, not just for careers or travel, but for a deeper understanding of the world and its people. Aisha looked around at the Institute, now a symphony of languages and laughter, a testament to the power of communication in bridging the gaps between cultures and dreams. The sleep machine, once a tool for a single language, had become a catalyst for a global conversation. And in Aisha's mind, a new dream blossomed, a world where language barriers dissolved, replaced by a shared understanding woven from countless stories whispered on the wind. Chapter 16. The Ethical Dilemma. As the Institute's fame grew, so did the scrutiny. Critics emerged, questioning the ethics of sleep learning. Was altering someone's subconscious a violation of free will? Did it take away the joy of hard-earned language acquisition? Aisha found herself at the center of a heated debate. She wrestled with these concerns. While the sleep machine undeniably accelerated learning, it couldn't replace traditional methods. Aisha addressed the critics, emphasizing that the Institute offered a holistic approach. The sleep machine provided a foundation, but fluency still required dedicated effort. Chapter 17. Revolutionizing Education. The debate sparked a global conversation about the future of education. Universities and language schools began incorporating sleep learning programs into their curriculums. Learning became more interactive, with students actively practicing the languages they dreamt in. Traditional textbooks were replaced with immersive virtual reality experiences, further blurring the lines between dreams and reality. Chapter 18. The Unexpected Side Effect. Amidst the excitement, an unexpected side effect emerged. Some students reported vivid, sometimes unsettling, dreams that transcended the programmed language lessons. They dreamt in forgotten languages, dialects spoken by extinct civilizations, or even entirely new, nonsensical tongues. Aisha and Dr. Evans delved into research, their initial excitement turning into concern. Were they unlocking forgotten parts of the human mind? Was there a deeper purpose to these dreams, a message yet to be deciphered? Chapter 19. A Message from the Past. One night, Aisha dreamt in a language unlike any she'd encountered. It felt ancient, echoing with a raw energy. In the dream, a figure materialized, a woman with eyes that held the wisdom of centuries. She spoke a single word, a word that resonated deep within Aisha: connect. Aisha woke up with a jolt, the word echoing in her mind. Could these dreams be more than a glitch? Was there a hidden message, a call to bridge not just cultural gaps, but gaps in human understanding that stretched far beyond language? Chapter 20. A New Chapter. Aisha shared her dream with Dr. Evans, a spark of shared curiosity igniting in their eyes. Together, they decided to shift their focus. The Institute would continue language learning programs, but a new department dedicated to researching these deep dreams would be established. Aisha knew their quest had just begun. The sleep machine, once a tool for language acquisition, had now become a gateway to unexplored territories of the human mind. As she gazed out the window at the students bustling across the Institute grounds, a new dream whispered on the wind. A dream of a future where humanity spoke not just a common language, but a shared language of understanding, woven from the fabric of their collective dreams. Chapter 21. The Whisperer. The new department, christened the Somnolinguistics Project, attracted a motley crew of researchers, neuroscientists, linguists, and even a handful of anthropologists with a penchant for the paranormal. Leading the team was Dr. Anya Petrova, a woman with a sharp mind and an even sharper wit. Dr. Petrova possessed a unique ability. She could, with some effort, recall fragments of her own dreams and even interpret the dreams of others, particularly those with a strong emotional core. Aisha, hoping to unlock the secrets of the deep dreams, brought Dr. Petrova on board. Chapter 22. A Tapestry of Dreams. Dr. Petrova spent weeks interviewing students who had experienced the unusual dreams. She meticulously documented their accounts. A student dreamt of building pyramids with an ancient Egyptian pharaoh. Another spoke of conversing with dolphins in an underwater city. As the data grew, a pattern emerged. The dreams, though seemingly random, all held a thread of connection, a yearning for unity, a plea for a deeper understanding that transcended language barriers. Dr. Petrova called it a tapestry of dreams, a collective unconscious weaving a message for humanity. Chapter 23. A Global Conversation. Aisha, inspired by Dr. Petrova's findings, decided to take the project public. She organized a global conference, inviting sleep researchers, linguists, and even philosophers to discuss the implications of the deep dreams. The conference hall buzzed with a mix of skepticism and wonder. Aisha presented her case, highlighting the recurring themes of unity and understanding. She proposed a new research direction, using the sleep machine to not just teach languages, but to foster a sense of global empathy, allowing people to experience the world through another's eyes, even through another's dreams. Chapter 24. The Empathy Project. The conference sparked a global conversation. The Institute received funding from a consortium of universities and NGOs to launch the Empathy Project. The sleep machine was redesigned, incorporating elements from the deep dreams to create immersive experiences that fostered emotional connection. Students dreamt of walking alongside refugees fleeing war, of experiencing the beauty of a disappearing rainforest through the eyes of an indigenous tribe elder. The results were profound. Students reported a newfound empathy for cultures vastly different from their own, a shift in their perspectives that transcended mere intellectual understanding. Chapter 25. A World Connected by Dreams. Years later, the Institute stood as a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of language and dreams. The sleep machine, once a novelty, had become a tool for global understanding. Aisha, now a renowned researcher, looked out at a world where cultural conflict seemed to soften, replaced by a burgeoning sense of shared humanity. As she closed her eyes that night, a single thought whispered through her mind. Perhaps the true language of humanity wasn't spoken, but dreamt, a universal language woven from empathy, understanding, and the shared stories that bloomed within the fertile ground of sleep. Chapter 26. The Visitor from Beyond. One night, a frantic call jolted Aisha awake. It was Dr. Petrova, her voice laced with urgency. Rushing to the institute, Aisha found Dr. Petrova staring intently at a student's sleep data. The student, a young woman named Maya, had experienced a dream unlike any other. It wasn't a language, Dr. Petrova explained. It was mathematics. Complex equations, symbols beyond anything recorded in human history. Intrigued and slightly alarmed, Aisha delved deeper. Maya's dream wasn't a jumble of symbols, but a coherent message, a series of instructions. Chapter 27. Decoding the Message. Days turned into weeks as Aisha and Dr. Petrova, along with a team of mathematicians, deciphered the cryptic message. It turned out to be a set of coordinates, pointing to a remote location in the South Pacific. Fear and excitement warred within Aisha. Was this a message from an advanced alien civilization? Or perhaps a forgotten human society with knowledge lost to time? Chapter 28. A Leap of Faith. The decision was fraught with risk. Announcing the message publicly could spark global panic. Yet, ignoring it felt irresponsible. Finally, Aisha decided on a course of action. She contacted a team of international scientists, presenting the message and the coordinates. A small, discreet expedition was planned. Chapter 29. The Silent City. The journey was arduous. After weeks at sea, the expedition reached the coordinates, a volcanic island shrouded in mist. As they ventured inland, they stumbled upon an astonishing sight. A vast, silent city, its structures unlike anything on Earth. The architecture seemed to defy gravity, shimmering with an otherworldly glow. Chapter 30. A Bridge Between Worlds. Cautiously, the team entered the city. Inside, a profound silence reigned, but as they explored further, a faint hum resonated through the air. Following the sound, they came to a central chamber, bathed in an ethereal light. Hovering in the center was a sphere, pulsing with energy. As Maya touched it, the chamber pulsed with a blinding light. They awoke back in the Institute lab, unsure how much time had passed. Maya, however, seemed different. Her eyes held a newfound wisdom, a hint of the vast knowledge she'd glimpsed within the sphere.
Epilogue.
The world never learned of the Silent City or the message from beyond. The scientists, sworn to secrecy, continued to study Maya's experience. Aisha, forever changed by the encounter, knew their journey into the world of dreams had only just begun. Perhaps the true purpose of the sleep machine wasn't just to learn languages, but to bridge the gap between humanity and the vast unknown that awaited them, not just within their dreams, but beyond the stars. Chapter 31. The Whisper Network. Years passed, and the Institute thrived. The Empathy Project became a cornerstone of global education, fostering peace and understanding across cultures. Yet, a nagging question lingered in Aisha's mind, the message from the Silent City. She confided in Dr. Petrova, who confessed to harboring the same curiosity. They formed a clandestine group, the Whisper Network, dedicated to discreetly investigating extraterrestrial possibilities. Members included a retired astronaut with a penchant for conspiracy theories, a linguist obsessed with deciphering ancient symbols, and a computer programmer with a knack for hacking classified data. Chapter 32. Echoes from the Sphere. The Whisper Network operated in the shadows, their headquarters a makeshift lab, hidden within the Institute's vast library. Their primary focus was Maya. Using a modified sleep machine, they attempted to replicate her experience within the Silent City. Though unsuccessful in fully replicating the journey, they did manage to capture faint echoes of the sphere's energy. These echoes, when deciphered by the linguist, revealed fragmented pieces of information, advanced technology beyond human comprehension, warnings about an impending ecological crisis, and a plea for collaboration between civilizations. Chapter 33. A Race Against Time. The ecological warnings sent chills down their spines. The Earth was already facing unprecedented challenges, and the message hinted at a cosmic threat they weren't prepared for. The Whisper Network realized the urgency. They had to bridge the gap between humanity and the Silent City, not just for knowledge, but for survival. Chapter 34. The Forbidden Code. Dr. Petrova, studying the sphere's energy signatures, discovered a pattern. It resembled an ancient code, one rumored to exist within certain lost civilizations. Legend spoke of a code that could unlock doorways between dimensions. With a growing sense of desperation, the Whisper Network contacted a reclusive scholar specializing in forgotten languages. The scholar, a man living off the grid in a remote Himalayan village, agreed to help under one condition. The knowledge wouldn't be used for personal gain. He revealed fragments of the code, cryptic symbols that resonated with the energy signatures from the sphere. Chapter 35. A Daring Experiment. Armed with the incomplete code and Maya's first-hand experience, the Whisper Network devised a daring plan. They would attempt to reconstruct the code within the sleep machine, hoping to create a simulated gateway to the Silent City. The risks were immense. The technology could be unstable. The gateway could lead them somewhere unknown. Aisha, Dr. Petrova, and Maya volunteered for the experiment. Strapped into the modified sleep machines, they entered a state of induced dreaming, the incomplete code a pulsating rhythm in their minds. The world dissolved into a swirling vortex of light and energy. And then they arrived. Chapter 36. The City Awakens. The familiar hum greeted them. They found themselves back in the central chamber of the Silent City, the sphere pulsing with a soft, welcoming light. But this time, it wasn't silent. As they approached the sphere, a wave of energy surged through them, filling their minds with a cacophony of thoughts and emotions. Images flooded their minds, vast, starlit galaxies, bustling alien civilizations, and a deep sense of despair emanating from a dying planet. The sphere was a repository of collective consciousness, a library of knowledge and emotions from a civilization on the brink. Chapter 37. A Cosmic Plea. a being unlike anything they'd ever seen materialized before them. A being of pure energy, its form shifting and reforming in a mesmerizing dance of light. It spoke, not with words, but with a telepathic message that resonated deep within their minds. It was a plea for help, a desperate call for a civilization facing an ecological catastrophe of unimaginable proportions. Chapter 38. The Burden of Knowledge. Aisha, Dr. Petrova, and Maya absorbed the information, the weight of responsibility settling heavily on their shoulders. They were humanity's ambassadors, entrusted with the knowledge of a dying civilization and the burden of a shared future. The message contained details of the ecological crisis, the cause a reckless disregard for their planet's resources. Chapter 39. A Bridge Between Worlds. The sphere offered a solution, a technology that could heal their planet, but it came at a cost. The technology required a rare element, one that didn't exist on Earth. The Whisper Network back at the Institute, alerted by the team's mental transmissions, received a fragment of this information. Hope flickered. Perhaps Earth's resources held the key to saving another world. Chapter 40. The Way Forward. Disengaging from the sphere, Aisha, Dr. Petrova, and Maya found themselves back in the sleep machines. They awoke with a renewed sense of purpose. Their mission was clear: share the knowledge, find the missing element, and forge a connection between two civilizations on the brink. The Whisper Network, no longer a clandestine group but a beacon of hope, went public with their findings. The world watched in stunned silence as they revealed the existence of the Silent City, the ecological crisis, and the potential for a shared future. A new era of global cooperation dawned, fueled by a shared responsibility for the fate of not just one planet, but two. The story of learning English while sleeping had transformed into a journey of galactic proportions. Aisha, Dr. Petrova, and Maya, once ordinary people, now stood at the forefront of a new chapter in human history, a testament to the power of dreams, not just for language acquisition, but for forging connections across the vast expanse of the universe. The story of learning English while sleeping had transformed into a journey of galactic proportions. Aisha, Dr. Petrova, and Maya, once ordinary people, now stood at the forefront of a new chapter in human history, a testament to the power of dreams, not just for language acquisition, but for forging connections across the vast expanse of the universe.